I'm feeling inspired. I woke up with a few ideas for fall. Most of the things are in my closet, and some of these things you can recreate. I'm gonna get ready, put on some makeup. We're gonna chit chat a little bit, and then you'll also see some of the outfits that I was inspired by going into the new season. And I love fall. I've learned to appreciate fall. We'll chit chat while I do that, and we'll see where it goes. All right. So first, I don't prime my face anymore. Being the ripe age of 50, I know it helps, but the products that I'm using is gonna lock it in for itself. So I'm gonna use setting spray, light, just a light amount, just to lock in what I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a full beat. So I am jumping in with my Bobbi Brown foundation. Where did I put my, Bobbi Brown foundation. Born This Way concealer and the Fit Me foundation as well in darker shade, just around the perimeter. So we're just going to zoom through this, and then we're going to quickly go into the outfits. I was like, oh my gosh, you should have seen me. You know, when you're inspired, you wake up, you take the thing out of the closet, you put it up, and you need to see it. That's who I am. That's what I love to do. A beautiful beat. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown, and I'm going to talk through it. I decided to talk through it. I was going to just skim through it, but no, let's go through this together. So this one is the Bobbi Brown in the W Golden shade. I use this right around the inner parts of my face, so underneath my eye, my nose, my upper lip, my chin, around my mouth, just to give it a nice fleshy, dewy, even consistency before I put on my concealer and foundation. Now I have another Bobbi Brown one that I use for like all over since I'm tanned, but I'm not going to do that today. I want to target certain areas so that I have that nice contour chiseled look, which my face naturally is, but I want to play on that today, and I will be doing some eyeshadow as well. So through this video, because there's a lot of chit chatter outside, I have my balcony door open. And so my neighbors are outside enjoying the last bits of summer. So that's why I was like, let me talk more through it, educate you guys, and let you guys know what I'm doing, opposed to playing a whole bunch of songs and stuff. But that will happen along the line when I upgrade my editoring app, like pick a nice one. So I'm gonna go with the Fit Me, and I'm gonna go on the outsides. Ooh, that's nice. On the outskirts of my face, just to blend it in. Hopefully you guys can't hear him talking. Like, he's loud, like he's out there talking. He's permitted to, and it's not going to disturb my video, so I got to find a way of, where you guys can't really hear it. Sometimes I go there, I'm like, recording. But I won't do that. I used to do that last year. I don't do that anymore because, freedom. All right, so with that, I'm going to go in with the concealer. The eyeshadow's not too colorful, so that's why I'm doing the foundation first. Otherwise, I would have done that first because I don't want anything spackling. I'm sure you heard that. The motorcycle, right? Everybody's having fun. So I'm gonna jump in with the concealer. And I love this concealer. I've tried many. I've tried NARS, I've tried LA Girl, I tried did I try Huda Beauty? I tried plethora, and I always jump back to this one. It gives me that look that I am trying to achieve. I also believe that, when they say with women that are over 50 should have a certain way of putting on their makeup in certain brands, I do agree, but I think that, and I know that the brand that you choose is geared to your face. It's geared to, not necessarily your face, your skin, okay? And if you have a combination of oily skin, dry skin, sensitive skin, I really believe that that's where that comes in. So when you find a product that works for you and your skin, stick with it. Because I know some older people that still bake, right? So I am just going in, bringing forth certain areas of my face. That's what concealer does, it brings it forth. I will let it dry a little bit, not so much, but I want to blend it in its place against my nose bridge just to narrow it just a little bit. I embrace my nose, but I just want to at least contour it and have it look nice and soft, right? So I'm using the other end of my sponge just to blend it out, because remember, if you saw it, the darker end is on the bottom of the sponge, so my all over face is at the bottom, and towards my eyes, my nose, and my chin is the pointed part of the blender. I still use a blender. I love brushes and stuff, but I still use a blender. I like the effect that it gives. It's easy to get used to something and do it over and over, but I am willing to try something new as well. So I'm gonna let that dry down a little bit, and we're gonna work on the eyebrows. I am gonna set it with the Fit Me. Hold on, let me fix it. There we go, it's more clear. The Fit Me loose finishing powder. This is in light medium, number 20. I do have Laura Mercier here somewhere, but we're not going to look for her. We're going to stick with this. Now, these pressing pads I got from Amazon. I do enjoy them. Sometimes I like the wet beauty blender, and so I might jump in with that. I am going to go to the areas of my brows right now. Especially with this loose powder, it does help. My brows tend to shine because I have like the oily T-zone area. So I'm gonna jump in and mat that area before I do my brows. Gotta have my coffee, right? Tea. All right, so we're gonna go in and do the brows. I have this brow brush. This one is is it Quo? Duo. Is it Quo? I think so. Eyebrow Duo. Love it. I love the precision of the brush itself, and I love the spoolie that's there. Even though I don't have that much hair, it's gonna work anyways. And I've been using powder, to be honest, and because I'm doing a beat, like a serious beat, I'm thinking I should use my Anastasia Brow Wiz pomade, but I'm not gonna do that because I can't find it right now. Yeah, and I'll find it later, but I'm gonna go with this brow powder. Has a light shade, a dark shade, and some wax to have that nice shine, but I'm not looking for that shine. So I'm gonna quickly go over my brows, creating a shape. I do have my brows microbladed, and they're slightly faded right now. I'm going to let that happen, and then probably do it again, but I'm really looking forward to the all over natural look. Sometimes we play with ourselves and it's not necessary, but that's part of me. I love to experiment, and then once I like it, I refer it, and then I learn how to do, and then I have it as a service. But then when you do deeper research, aside from the aesthetic of looking away, not all inks and not all procedures are good and healthy for us. So we're not going to go into that in this video. We'll do it in another one, okay? Because you know me with products, and especially being in the industry, knowledge is power, and once you know something, you aware everyone else. And people have been screaming it for years, but we need that bread and butter, so we bypass all of that stuff and we provide this service knowing that we're going to get a pretty penny. And to me, I am held responsible for that, so I'm creating awareness, I like how soft the brows are coming out. I really do. It's good. You know what? I think I'm going to stick with the powder. I'm not going to... It's around the winter time that I go really stark with the Brow Wiz pomade. But I really like this effect. This is really nice. I did this a couple times this summer, and I like it. I do. Now, your brows are sisters, and I'm sure you heard this before. They are not twins, but with microblading, we tend to get into that symmetry where they should be sisters, right? So, oh yeah, you're right here. Sorry. Sorry. I'm like looking at myself saying, oh, how does that look? But I'm talking to y'all. I got a mirror right here, so and get into it. All right, so brows are done. I am gonna take my blender, spill some of that concealer on top, on my eyelid, creating a nice smooth canvas and allowing the eyeshadow to grip in this area. Okay, we're going to lock it in with some powder using the same push, call it a push pad, pressing a powder pad, what do you call it? Just to lock it in. Here I'd usually use a brush, but since I've used this for this area, I'm going to continue speeding up the process because the sun is out and I'm like, oh my gosh, when I was laying there, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so inspired. The outfit came up to me. I was like, okay, look at my closet. I got to throw some stuff away, give some stuff away, donate some stuff. What am I going to do? Oh my God. And I was like, outfits. Okay, so I'm going to jump into an old school favorite, the Morphe palette. This is a 15D palette. I got a lot of pan going on here because it's being used. It's being used. All right, so let's do the eyeshadow quickly. Let's see. Start on the outer corners with a loose synthetic brush. And I'm going to go in with Epic. I did not tap it because I want it to be intense. And I'm doing the outer corners, giving a slight lift because I don't want it to have my eyes shaped downwards. I want it to be up, like give it a lift. So I'm going to softly blend that outwards, but creating a crease as well because I do have hooded eyes. And I'm going to lightly blend that out with Epic. So I first started with a whole bunch on my brush. I'm going to go up to the point of my brow and wing it out, softly blending it outwards on the outer corners by using Epic. So I like to do both eyes at the same time so I can get an even look, especially when it's an intense look. Okay, see how that looks? And then that way I can make sure that they're even. Right by the brow, softly, not with the product on it. I aim the product where I want it the most, then I blend it out. Sometimes I do circular motions, but right now I'm doing back and forth with a light hand, and it's like I'm drawing. Ooh, the sun is out. Ooh, the sun is out. Oh my goodness. Oh, these are days where I'm usually with my boo, enjoying the water, enjoying the scenery, enjoying life. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. Because everyone has their path. Everyone has their purpose, right? All right, so I think we're good. We're gonna go in with a tad bit of a lighter color because I usually do a dark color here. And I am gonna do it, but I wanna blend it out a little bit. I'm gonna go into Forever right here. This is Epic right here. See the difference? Epic. Forever. So we're going to go with Forever and blend some of that out on the upper parts towards the brow, just to give it, just to smooth it out a bit. And I like to do this between my eyebrows and the inner parts because then it closes in my eyes a little bit, right? See how it looks? And it's creating depth in that area. So that person talking loud outside, Star. That's okay. That's okay. I might join into that conversation. All right, so I did that, and now I'm gonna go in with the same brush. Notice it's the only brush that I'm using, right? I'm gonna go into, is it mauve or sweet? I'm gonna go into mauve, this one right here, and target the corner. See how dark that is? I'm going to target that area and just give it a slight lift, just to blend it out a little bit. I'm not going to move it that much further, just in that corner here, and just diffuse it. Blend it out. There we go. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of Epic, just to tone it out a little bit. Not tone it out, but you know what I'm saying, mute it out, because it looks like it's blend right there, right? that's the playful part of it. You're creating while you're, I call this painting. This is like painting. All right, so we'll work on the next eye now. Targeted right here in this area here. A little bit more. And use a little bit at a time. You don't want to use too much where it looks like you dabbed it there. You want to smooth it out, right? And that's why I like using a brush like this, because it helps with the placement. And I'm stroking it outwards, blending it out softly. I like how this one turned out. Yeah. Okay, and then on top of this, as you can see, I am going to, let me see, this one's a little bit higher. I am going to go back into Epic and to Forever together and work on the outer part of what we just did within as well. So we're putting those two shades on top of everything we just did just to cause a nice blend. So Epic and Forever. I did not tap my brush. I want a load of it so that I can create on top of what I did. I'd smooth it out actually. There we go. All right, so now we're gonna go in with the lighter shade on the inner eye area. I am going to be using this loose hair brush. It's loose, right? And someone left me a message. All right, so should I do orange or should I do, I'm gonna do natural. I'm gonna do this one right here, natural. And because we have the concealer on the eye, this should lock it in. I'm gonna focus on the inner part and just pat it because I loaded up the brush. I'm gonna pat it within this area. There we go. Definitely gonna put a color here. I'm not sure which one, but right now, I just wanna smooth it out. There we go. Natural is more of it's like a peachy vanilla color. It's soft. It has peachy tones in it. It's not exactly ivory. It's high pigmented, which I love. And I also love the fact that I can put something on top of this color. There we go. So we're just gonna leave that for now because I do want to put something in the inner area. Once we're done, we're going to put a little bit underneath the brow bone here, but I was going to use some of the setting powder because this is too peachy. But we're just going to use a little bit for now in terms of placement. All right, so let's focus on the foundation. But before we do that, I am going to jump into the, hold on. Here it is. We're going to jump into this again. And we're going to use the same brush that we used to lock in the inner eye area and under the brow bone. And I'm going to press a whole bunch right there just to lock it in. You see how much that is? I will dust it off later. I just want to make sure that it's placed there so that I can get that effect that I'm looking for. This lifts the brow. It gives it a nice arch look without using so much concealer. All right, so let's go in with the foundation because it's been there and the concealer blended in because it's been there for a minute. Same sponge because it's damp, right? We can go in this area and sort of lift it a little bit more on top of the eyeshadow, which is good. Sometimes I'll wipe it off, but I'm like, I don't need to all the time. Along the nose bridge, the inner eye area, again, we're gonna lift right on the outskirts, right above the cheekbone, just lifting that cheekbone some more, under the chin a little bit, even though I put powder, and just locking a little bit more on the forehead. I'm gonna blend it out, again, with the bottom part of the blender, just getting that nice look. We are gonna lock it with powder. We just wanna make sure everything's blended in. Usually I put it underneath my nose right around here, but my lips naturally protrude out, so I don't need to do that. Okay, so let's lock this in with powder. We're gonna use the Sephora bronze, oh wow, it's bronze medium yellow, micro smooth powder. I'm sure You've heard of this. This is like an all over powder. I use this often on myself and my clients. I love it. It works. We're going to use a full big dome brush. This one I got from Morphe a long time ago. Love it because it distributes powder so well. Do you see how dense it is, but it also is movable? I love it. Love it. So we're going to pack it, right? And we're going to press it in all over. This is such a beautiful Sunday. Oh my goodness. Beautiful Sunday. And just lock it in every area. We are going to contour a little bit. I am going to jump in to, I don't want to do it that much, but I use foundation powders, and I have the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear. I have it in this dark color, deep amber. This is what I use for a contour. I love this shade. Oh my gosh, if this was my complete color, I would be so happy. My mom is darker than this. She's like dark. I love that. And I'm going to use this one here. This one is, I don't know the name of this one, but this is a lighter shade. This is the darker shade. So I'm going to use the lighter shade a little bit underneath the eye and on my nose. Just a little. Because I don't want too much powder. I don't want that big look, but as much as I want underneath my eye to turn out more effective in my photos, I'm like, okay, let me do that. So with this, I'm going to use a fluffy brush. So this is this brush that I had freehand. I think it was gifted to me. I'm going to use that a little bit on the, this is hair, this is not synthetic. Actually, no, I think it is synthetic, but it acts as a hair brush because we want it to be fluffy, right? So I'm just going to touch the tip of my nose lightly, just creating a shape, just lightly, along the sides, lightly. I don't want it to be so dark. I pressed my hand a little bit too hard. I'm going to have to blend that out. So there, you can see that? I'm going to blend that out with the same dome brush, just a little, just to pat it, because I do want, yeah, there we go. I want that contour look. I'm going to go in with a loose synthetic brush with the dark, lightly, underneath the cheekbone here, just lifting it up a little. Do you see that? Soft, light. I'm using the tips of the brush, just circulating it on my skin, not pressing it in, and creating. So I'm drawing, I'm seeing where it's placed, and I'm just blending it out in that area. So again, on this side, you see that? It's like blurp on, right? Lightly fuse that out. Blend that out with the brush in that area, just going up. You know what I'm saying? Okay. We got that going on. Funny, I was going to use this concealer. I haven't used this in a minute. This is by NYX Color Corrector. I'm not going to need it. We're going to go back in with the Sephora and the Dome brush. I know, a lot of powder, right? But this is a way of blending it all in. Perfect. Okay. Now, since we got all this in, we are going to lightly brush away the powder underneath the brow bone, because we're going to spray, lock it in with some setting spray, and then we're going to go in by doing the eyes and all that other stuff, right? I'm thinking I want to put more, but by the time I figure it out with the eye look, it'll all come together. So we're going to use some more. I love this one, even though it's a strong smell. This is All Nighter Microfine Setting Mist. Love this one. I gotta get some more. All right, so I'm gonna step away, do my eyes, put my liquid liner on, and when I put my liquid liner on, then I'll know what I'm gonna put here. But no, I'm gonna put my liquid liner on and my lashes, and I'll be right back. That was a lot. I tried the clusters. I tried these. This is my 5th time trying them. Maybe I don't have the right one, or I'm not patient enough. I tried these. I have the tool to put it on, and I have where is it? The glue and the remover, the bonder and the remover. And every time I try it, I just don't like the way it feels under, like I don't like the way it feels when I'm blinking, whether it's the strip that I'm feeling, or I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I'm just like, I gave up. I just put on my strips. And these ones are the Ardell 113, I believe. Yeah, I don't have the case here, but yeah, no, that wasn't working. So we're just gonna focus on the under eye now. And I went back in with the Beauty Blender because I don't like to pack it with powder because the texture of my skin will stand out. It'll be more pronounced. So I like to use a dampen sponge and to blend the powders that I put there, the concealer that I put there, and just press it in and sort of move it around a little bit so it's not like caked on and like a buildup, but just managing what I already put on. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to do that. At the end, I am going to put a little bit of powder on, but I don't mind the dewiness of the concealer, and that's another reason why I love this Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. I have to say the full name so you know what I'm talking about. Yes, I'm close to the mic. Okay, so under the eye, I'm going to use a small brush like this. Love it. It's hair. I'm going to go back in with the same palette. Oh, wrong one, that's Morphe. That's my MAC palette. I'm going to go into that with the blush. I am going to use Epic and just press it on my lower lash line. I didn't dust off the brush. I want it to be intense. See how intense that is? I want to do that, and then I'll just lightly swipe it on, creating a shape, a winged shape underneath the slight wing that I have there, because I do want a stark look. And then on top of that, I'm going to use Forever, and so that Forever is going to go towards the inner parts of my eye, underneath the lash line, just swiping and blending it with what I just put on here, the darker shade, and slightly going under it. Oh, I'm sweating. And just blending that out nicely. Again, and it's wing shaped, going upwards. There we go. Just like that. I might put some eyeliner on. I'm thinking I might do that because it'll open up my eye. Again, I'm going into Epic, focusing on the outer part of my lower lash line and just creating a wing underneath the wing that I had created with the liquid liner, and swooping it just to the midsection of my eye, lower lash line, not my eye, saying my eye like I'm coloring and I'm putting on my eye. No, I'm going in with Forever, which is the lighter shade, this one right here. So I used Epic, the darker one, exactly what I use in the top eyelid area, this one right here, the darker one, and I'm using Forever just to blend it out. So I'm starting off on the inner parts of my lower lash line and I'm patting it in. This brush is narrow for a reason, so you can target the area in which you're placing it. And I'm slightly swiping it, meeting it toward the center and connecting it with the darker eyeshadow. And again, you can use whatever eyeshadow you choose, a darker one on the outer ends and a lighter one in the inner, and I'm blending it underneath the darker eyeshadow shade at the ending of my eye line, the lower lash line there, and just blending it. And it's like you're coloring, so try not to be too hard on yourself if it's not exactly like mine. You're blending it out to your satisfaction. You're just getting a general outline of how you're going to do it and how you're going to place it. Now we're going to talk about the inner eye area. I think I'm just going to keep it soft. I'm going to go in with the lighter shade of my Infallible 24-hour Fresh Wear foundation, this one, okay? And so we're going to use the same brush that we used before, that we used for the inner eye area, and I'm just going to swivel that in there, pack that on, okay, because we're patting it on because we got the lashes on now, so we got to be careful. So I'm going to press it in, see how light that looks. Oh yes, yes, yes. And we're going to pat it in a shape that we want it. So now I'm creating a cut crease with the powder, just lightly in that area. I'm not going to go on my liquid liner because I winged it out here. I'm not touching that area here. I'm just focusing on the inner parts of my eyelid. I'm leaving that nice peachy contrast that I put in initially that's what you're seeing here. So I'm just going over it, which I love. It makes it more intense. And I'm creating a cut crease, just patting it. In its place like this, softly, and just swiping on the inner part of my eye. I love that. I love this sort of brush because it helps with creating that shape. You see how it is creating it, and I'm just patting the powder, and it gives it more of a softer look instead of a stark look. And I'm okay with both, but right now I'm going for something subtle like this. It gives my eyes slanted eyes are more enhanced when I do a look like this. I'm allowing the eyeshadow that I had put under my brow bone to stand out more. Do you see that? I don't want to go too high. See, I'm going a little bit too high. I am going to stop. There we go. Okay, so there we go. That looks nice. I was going to put some shimmer there, but I want a nice matte look to go with the outfits that I will be putting on. My brows are fine. I'm not going to go into it. Yes, I did touch my mole there. I wanted to make sure that it's slightly darkened because the makeup had covered its true color. And I think that's about it. I was going to put some should I? I should. I like how my eyes are slanted up. I love that. I'm going to put some more mascara on top of these lashes, but I like how subtle it looks. I'm going to put on some blush. Yeah, so I have this MAC palette. It's part of my kit, especially when I'm doing makeup for weddings and, photo shoots and, videography and events. Love these shades. As you can see, I dabbled into format so much. I love this compact because they come out and it's magnetic. Love this. So I'm going to go in with, I think, format. And which one is this one again? This one is Pinch Me. So let me make sure that this is format. I've been saying it for years because I've been using it for years. And it looks so nice on every skin color. Let me see. Oops. Yep, format. Format and Pinch Me. I'm going to use those two with a loose brush. Just a loose synthetic brush. So I'm going to dab into both of them like this, creating a nice mess. I'm going to pat it with the above, like my upper cheek area towards my temple, where the eyeshadow is right here. I'm not going here. I'm just focusing on the outer parts of my cheek area. So my temple, the ending of my eyelid here towards the lower parts of my brow bone, and I'm just patting it, and I can see it. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I can see it. It's slight, it's subtle, it's nice, it's not stark. I'm not going for that look right now. So I'm mixing the two, patting it, and notice how I didn't dust off any sort of loose powder on the brush. I want it to be in its place. I'm focusing again on the higher parts of my cheekbone, towards my temple area, and to the outer skirts of my eyelid, and to the bottom part of my brows. This looks so nice, right? We're going to use a little on the nose because it gives it a nice flush, and we're patting it to blend it out, and there we go. Beautiful. Let's focus on the lips now. I'm going to go in with a burgundy. Should I do burgundy? I think I should. I'm going to go in with, because it's going to go with the nails, and it's going to go with the looks because it's more of a like gray, white, black. These are the looks I'm going with, and beige. So let's do that on the outer corners of my lips, like that, just a line. You can go under the lip here. My lips are full, thank God, because if you haven't noticed, I plump my lips. I've been using lip plumper for years, and the collagen level on my lips, it's just deflating. So I did my lips. If you're curious to how and when, I did I filmed a full video while she was doing it. So I can definitely show you if you want to know. and where I got it done, because she specializes in natural lips. She's young, but she knows what she's doing, man. She's underrated, man. I'm gonna pump her out because she knows what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing. I seen ladies come out looking normal, looking just like themselves, not puffed or not like, where it just looks fake. She did an excellent job on my lips. I love the way they look. I did one syringe, and I was like, as soon as I seen it swell a little bit, I didn't bruise or anything. I was ready to go in for another half a syringe. She goes, "And just," I said, "Okay, that's how I know she's good. She knows what she's doing," and I love the way that they turned out. So we went in with the burgundy. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of brown just to soften it, just a little, because I don't want it to be so burgundy. I'm gonna do a little here, just a little. Now I'm gonna go in with this MAC lipstick. I don't know what the name is. I know I have two of these, one for my kit and one for me. I love the way that it looks. I do want it to be matte, but I want it to be luscious. And I normally go in with my soft matte lip cream by NYX. This is called London. This is amazing, but it gives it too much of a matte look, and then sometimes it has a little cakiness, and I don't want that right now. I want this lip to last all day for my looks. So I'm gonna go in with this one, and it's more of a satin. This is a satin line, right? Oh, Yaz, that's what's called, Yaz. And this is this part of the satin line? Because the X is just crossing everything out. But I love the satin line because it's moisturizing, it's luscious. They have a luster line as well. I used to work for MAC. I was always at the lipstick part. I was like cleaning lipsticks, looking at the names, swiping, like, ooh, and when people come in, hi, I'm talking to them about lipsticks when I should be showing them foundations and, moisturizers and all those other things. I stuck by the lip area. Ask anyone at MAC that used to work with me. I was always there. I wanted to memorize every name of the lipsticks because I was just, their formula, love it. Okay, so we did a nice powdered lip. This is my signature. I love this. If I do it all over, it'd be a bright red or violet and stuff, but I love this powdered look with the dark liner on the outer wings of my lips, my lip line, and then just a soft matte or a soft in a lighter color in the center of my lip, giving it a nice pout. I definitely love that look. Not going to detour from anytime soon. So we're going to touch up with a little bit of mascara. I don't normally put it on my bottom lash line, but I'm going to have to do it today because we did pile on the makeup. And to be honest, lately I haven't been wearing makeup. I do enjoy not wearing makeup. I enjoy just living my day-to-day and moisturizing my skin and using my essential oils in a sense of just replenishing my skin. I like to let my skin breathe. When I'm working out, going for my walks, I enjoy it. So when I have days like this where I'm putting on makeup or when I'm going out, I do enjoy it too, but I quickly wipe it off with my Neutrogena wipes. I love that. I know that there are times, even as we get older, our skin is loose and we have a lot of oils in certain areas, or our skin is dry. But I found that even the lines underneath our eyes, we don't want to accentuate it. But even when we wear mascara, sometimes it bleeds in that area, and so that's why I don't really like to wear mascara on the lower lash line. But for this look, I'm gonna do it. I think I'm done. Brows are nice and soft. Blush is nice and soft. Eyeshadow is nice and soft. I think, should I do a little bit more dark in the outer ends? If I see, this is what happens if I start doing this, I'm gonna go ham. I'm just gonna do a little bit, just a little. I'm gonna add a little bit of the Mauve, is it? And Epic, just right here. I just want it to be a little bit more pronounced. And I think, yeah, there we go. I just wanted a little bit because it just looks like it's not transitioning well. So we'll just do a little bit here. Yeah, that looks better. And see how I'm just stroking it upwards and out. Even if it meets my temple, that is fine. Okay, so that looks good. I'm ready. All right, so I'll show you some of the looks that I have created. I think I'm going to shoot them outside. I normally do it in my dinette area. I move my place around often because I love the way that it's set. So with the looks, hopefully my background is not distracting to the looks that I wear. But we'll see how it goes. Actually, you know what? I might put on a little bit of gold deposit. Just a little. Just a little. And I was going to put on some eyeliner too. A little bit of gold deposit, just any brush here. This is what I use for the lighter eyeshadow. You can't even see it. I don't want to put it on. I'm not going to do it. I want that matte soft look. I'm going to stick with that. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to get ready. And I'll show you guys a little bit, a sneak peek of the, and you'll see it on YouTube or you'll see it on my TikTok where, and how the outfits look. I don't even know what I'm going to do with my hair. That's the good thing about hair. These locks, you can do whatever you want with it and it still looks good. All right. Okay.